Hello fellas, and welcome back to another review. Today we're going to be looking at the Robot Paradise Acoustic Wave, and this is a third-party version of a G1 Soundwave, and he does look very good, as you can see from the little rotation. But before we get into the figure himself, let's look at the accessories. Alright, he comes with Frenzy or Rumble and its little case for the cassette, as well as some faces for Frenzy Rumble. And then you also get the concussion blaster and the shoulder-mounted cannon thing, as well as a bunch of pieces to make him a toy-accurate version. You also get an empty Energon cube. It is also transparent. And you also get the Earth Destroyers for Frenzy Rumble. And before we get to you, we're going to be dealing with Frenzy Rumble here. Rumble Frenzy, I don't know. Regardless, you open him out of the case. Alright. And you got the cassette mode. And here is Frenzy or Rumble's cassette mode. I really don't know which one. So his micro cassette mode does look pretty good from the front. From the back, you can tell it's very clearly a robot, but at the end of the day, there's not much you can do with him like this. Except for one thing that I will show off later when I get into the figure himself over here. But you just saw him do this, and well, there's some more that can be done. I was gonna go right into the transformation sequence, but you might want to be a bit careful here. Here, I'm just gonna... this is kind of an annoying part of the transformation. You kind of have to wiggle it out, but these pieces right here come off of his leg, and yeah, you're just gonna want to be careful with that part. Anyway. And here is Frenzy / Rumble, and he looks pretty good, pretty accurate. My one gripe is with this right now, so I actually, honestly, up until recording this, I've had this figure for a few months now. I can't remember exactly how long, but I think since August. It's November 30th as of recording. I didn't know I had both of these. I thought one of them was gone. I just found one of them in my bag of accessories, so I had both of them clearly. And this side didn't want to go in properly. It seems to be sticking fine, but otherwise there's another issue with him too, that otherwise just annoys me about him. And obviously I'm trying to put him on a turning table, but he does not like to stand. I could possibly fix it. I'm not 100% sure though. I think it would be a tough fix. So I'll have to look at Reddit or something and see if there are any easy fixes. But at the same time, I'm not really looking to display him in robot mode. Not gonna lie. But there's another thing you can do with him, of course, and that is add his earthquake machines. And now he has his, I'm just gonna refer to him as little rumblers on. So these rumblers do something pretty neat. Hold up, there we go. They have a spring-loaded mechanism to come out. How neat is that? It's so cool. It's unfortunate that he's so fucking flimsy, and this doesn't like to stay plugged in. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I guess it's time for articulation. He has a swivel at the head, as well as that hinge to look up. He can't look down at all. His arms move up and can bend outward. He has a bend at the elbow. He also does have a rotation at the arms. His legs can kind of move out. He can kick backwards and forward. He also does have a thigh swivel. Don't know why I didn't show that one either. He has a kind of double bend at the knee, and his ankle is on a double ball joint actually, so he can pivot, rotate, and move back and forth. So overall he has decent postability, but it's hard to get anything going if his legs do. Oh, they're not doing it anymore. Holy hell. Oh. That. This thing annoys me. Anyway, oh yeah, there's one more thing I have to show you, and it's swapping out his face. If you rip off his head, you can grab one of his other heads. You can grab the smile or the angry head, and you can just put it right here with the swivel, and boom, just like that, he changed his face. So yeah, he's gonna be angry now. But yeah, I'm gonna get him back into cassette mode, and we'll move on to the main course. And now that we have him in cassette mode, we will just really quickly go over the best use of cassette mode, and we have to bring in Acoustic Wave himself for this. And I know the Decepticon logo doesn't look that great on him. I wanna change it, but I need to buy new stickers. So as you can see, he has a chest compartment, and you can put your cassette in there. I know, it's crazy. It's a crazy concept. If you'll slide in, there we go. And then you can close it up, and boom, look at that. He's got a cassette. So cool. Now that we have his shoulder cannon mounted and his blaster transformed, you guys can see there are some tabs on each side of the handle of the blaster, and you can plug those tabs into the slot on either one of the hands. And it doesn't hold extremely well, but it holds good enough to get by. You can wrap his fingers around it and make it a little bit tighter, and boom, there you go. He's got his weapons now. The shoulder cannon especially completes the look. But now, we're gonna make him look a little bit like the retro 80s toy with those components I talked about earlier. And after that, here he is in his retro mode, and I don't think it looks too bad. I mean, personally, I'm just not a big fan of it display-wise, but it does look pretty good, and it's pretty accurate to the original toy, which I do have right here. So you can see the yellow eyes, a lot of the details are very accurate, but let's get him back. Here he is back in regular old Soundwave mode. And let's continue the review with this. Also, just kind of ignore the background change. I decided to change where I was filming about halfway through this review. It will continue to be this way for the rest of it. Now, getting up close and personal with him, you can see how beautiful he looks. You got some nice gold, the red on the eyes. You got some silver, which doesn't look as nice now because I've handled him, but he looks and feels fantastic. He is nice and hefty because of some die-cast metal. And in the back here, you can open up his backpack, and that just so happens to be storage for the weapons, which can transform into batteries. So there you go, that's pretty cool. It's more useful in the transformation though. You don't really want to do that in robot mode unless it's the gun. He has a swivel at the head, gets a full 360 there. He can also look up and not down at all due to a hinge joint. His shoulder cannon can rotate and tilt. His arms can move out with a nice ratchet, and they can also rotate a full 360, another very nice ratchet there on the arms. He does have a bicep swivel, which is a little bit tight, and a bend at the elbow. Now there is also a ball joint at the wrist, so you can get a swivel, and he can do the little gay pose, I guess. He has a hinge joint and a ball joint at the thumb, and then a hinge joint, double hinge joint at the index finger, and then a single hinge joint at the rest of the fingers. He has a slight ab crunch forward and back, and as well as a waist swivel, which gets a little bit interrupted by the backpack, but you can lift that up, and then you get the full 360 right there. His hip skirts move forward to allow for a nice kick. He can move back, not as far, and can go all the way out to the side. He has a kind of odd thigh swivel, a bit limiting, but he can get the poses you need, as well as if you untab his leg, that's for the transformation, you can kind of get a second thigh swivel, but it just doesn't look all that great if it's activated. He has a over 90-degree bend at the knee, as well as some forward and backward at the foot, and a decent ankle pivot. The posability on this guy is exactly what you'd want to get from Soundwave, as he can launch Frenzy Rumble out of his chest if he wants, and he can also carry Megatron. Look at how beautiful that is. So you can kind of slightly recreate that scene from the movie, but I tried to get Frenzy Rumble to hold the fusion cannon, it just didn't work. Anyway, and speaking of Megatron, here he is standing next to Megatron. You can see their height. I don't think it's very accurate, but they look good together. Here he is scaled up with the magic square light of Beast. He's about the same height difference as him and Megatron. And here he is with the Make Toys Meteor, or in other words, Starscream, and they look very nice together. I can't wait to get more Decepticons. And here he is next to the much shittier Earthrise version. And, I mean, you got the most recent mainline before SS86 compared to this. It's just a no-brainer. And as we know, Soundwave does something silly much like every other Transformer, and he transforms. And here he is in his micro cassette player mode, and it looks pretty good. It compacts very well, and obviously the weight stays there, but it just feels heftier. It feels like a block, in all honesty, and it's just really interesting. He overall looks really, really good. Now, the only slight issue, if you're weird, is the underside, which you can see his legs and hands of clearly, but I don't see any problem with it. You're never going to display him like that. He can still open his cassette deck. You can roll the volume button, or volume knob, which is nice, and you can flick the power button, which is also pretty nice. But you cannot press any other button, which I don't find a problem with. Now here he is compared to Megatron, and you can see he just condenses in height. He is barely taller than Megatron's knee, if that. And here he is with the Magic Square Light of Peace, and again you can see how drastically he shrinks. And here he is with Make Toys Meteor, again, just shrinking below the knees of all of these figures. Here he is compared to the original G1 cassette player mode. I mean, there's a significant difference in both width and height on them. And here he is with, again, the Earthrise mold, which just, again, it gets blown out of the water. The Earthrise mode looking back is so much worse, and here's all three of them, but we can see very clearly which little block is superior. Now, my last note here is going to be his Energon Cube. I forgot about it in robot mode. You can plug it onto his chest over his gold and kind of have it there, but not really. Well, anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'm not sure what was up with the audio, but I noticed it's a bit off after re-listening to some of the audio that I recorded. I always do that. So I apologize for that, and I will have it fixed by the next video, as I'm not sure what's going on with it. I might need to buy a new microphone, unfortunately. This one's been getting worse and worse over time. But anyway, if you guys made it to the end of this video, thank you guys for watching. If you could leave a like and subscribe, I mean, you made it this far, so why not? And check out my my other reviews if you haven't already, especially the Lego Soundwave review. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day.